Alright, so in this video we're checking out the new Radiomaster MT12 Surface Radio. So the version I have here is the Express LRS version, as an internal 250 milliwatt Express LRS transmitter inside, and there's another version with a 4-in-1 module internally. They did send me an external 4-in-1 module. I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video, but quickly, what you get in the box here, you get this nice case, and you get a manual or a quick start guide. There's an actual downloadable PDF manual. I'll try and link that in the description. You get some stickers, you get the radio, this lanyard thing holding onto your wrist or wrist strap. You get this nano module adapter, 4-position or 4-way joystick expansion module, and then two position switches. I'll show you where that goes later. This is not included. It's an external 4-in-1 multi-protocol module. I'll talk about that later. You do get a USB-C cable for charging. The Express LRS version comes with this receiver. This is the ER3CI. It's a 3-channel PWM receiver with an internal ceramic antenna, and you have battery voltage telemetry cable there. They did send along a couple of extra receivers here, the ER5CI. This has it's a 5-channel receiver with an internal ceramic antenna, and this is not included. This is an extra cost. I'll link that in the description as well. And then you get you also have the ER5C-V2. This is also a 5-channel PWM Express LRS receiver, but this one has an external antenna. It comes like this, and that one is also an extra cost. I'll link that in the description as well. So before I get into the video about the radio, this is an Express LRS radio. It does come with EdgeTX on here. I'm not going to answer any questions about EdgeTX or Express LRS. There's going to be links in the video description to the Express LRS website. There's lots of documentation there. There's just way too much stuff for me to just regurgitate in this video. This video would be like 5 hours long if I did that. Additionally, this is running EdgeTX 2.9, I believe, one of the latest versions. Also, there's full documentation on EdgeTX as well. I will link that in the video description. So for those questions, I'll refer you to those links, and if you go there, do your own research, you'll be able to quickly find the answers you're looking for. But I'm mainly going to be covering the radio in this video. I also do want to mention there is a website that documents the 4-in-1 module. It's called the multimodule.org website. I'll link that as well in the video description. I'm sure you'll get a lot of questions about which protocols are involved and will it work with whatever device you have. If you go to this website, there's a database. There's hundreds of protocols and hundreds of, perhaps even thousands of particular things that this could potentially bind to and work with. So yeah, I would refer you to that website if you have those kind of questions. Alright, so here is a look at the radio itself. We're going to go over all the switches and different things that this radio features here. Just want to give you sort of a quick sort of look around the radio. Got the little cover off here that reveals the micro SD card. You have a USB-C port there that is for data transfer. Also connecting to your computer or simulator. You have a headphone jack and a DSC trainer port. There's a nice little cover that covers it up here on this side. Got a nice foam covered steering wheel here. I got a bunch of trims and switches here. I'm going to go over each one individually while showing you what's going on the channel monitor on the screen. On top here you got your system button, model button, page back, page forward, power button. Got your scroll wheel. You can also press the select, telemetry button, and return button here. And you have a speaker and LED. This is the same black and white screen that's on the Zorro. I believe it's the same size. It's 128 by 64, I believe. In fact, in a lot of ways, this is basically like a Zorro internally, so it's got this similar 250 milliwatt Express LRS transmitter and same size screen, but obviously instead of 2 joysticks there, you have the steering wheel and the throttle. as a surface radio. There are two, there's a battery compartment down here. You can put in two 18650 lithium ion cells into the battery holder like other Radiomaster radios. These two batteries are not included. They just happen to send this along for the review. And these are 18650s, 2500 milliamp hours, and the battery tray is included. Uses a 2S LiPo balance lead connector there. So you can use, I think there's a 5000 milliamp hour battery that has a 2S battery, a LiPo battery that you could use instead. And of course, generally speaking, any 2S LiPo with a balance lead that will fit in here will work as well. And you can charge it via the USB-C here in the back. And it is Quick Charge 3.0 compatible, so it can charge up to, I believe, 3 amps. The antenna is here in the front, and you can rotate that if you want some better antenna orientation. There's a little plug over here for the nano module adapter, and the pins are right here, and then they go in right there like this, and it just kind of snaps into place. And then there's these clips here that will hold this nano module adapter in place, and then you can use that to attach your nano modules. They're going like so. And I did use this with the nano module to use the radio with one of these like SMT micro cars here, which uses the FlySky radio protocol. Long story short, I'll make another video. I'll put it on my second channel on how to set it up. But basically, in a nutshell, the throttle and steering channels are swapped on this particular model, and the steering channel needs to be inverted or reversed, and then it works fine. And then you can use the radio as basically kind of really fine tune it, which is one of the advantages of using a radio like this, is you can do a lot of fine tuning in EdgeTX that you can't do on some of the sort of generic radios. Anyway, I'll put the link to that video in the video description on my second channel on how to set this up if you happen to want to use this for these little micro cars. And this is that second car that I set up for the SNT model. Let's go back to the original MT12 here. Select this one, and you can see it's exactly the same as you would see on other EdgeTX radios, very similar. But this is now using the internal Express LRS module. And then let's go to the channel monitor right here. So it shows all the different channels. All right, so channel 1 is going to be the throttle channel here, and you can see it moving here. So you have it centered here, so it's basically forward and backwards. The steering channel is channel 2, so right and left. Channel 3 is this one right here. It's a little hard to see. It says SA right here. It's a 3-position switch. So they kind of put all these, like, some of these switches here around the outside of the steering wheel. Some of these are trims.
Trim center.
And so trim there.
Trim center.
You can hear that.
Trim center. Trim center.
And then I guess this is reachable with your thumb here. If you have a longer thumb, I suppose you could do that. But you can see here, channel 3, switch A, and then switch B is right over here. And I'm not sure how to reach it. I guess you could reach it with the thumb like this, or with your right hand if you're using the steering wheel. And this is a momentary switch. This is channel 4. So channels 5 and 6 are these dials here. So P1 and P2, and they are centering dials. So here's channel 5. So counterclockwise goes up, counterclockwise goes down. And then I think that's the same for channel 6. Clockwise goes up, counterclockwise goes down, and they do center. Channel 7 is this momentary switch here, SC, and you just press down on it. And it's channel 7, so basically it's a momentary switch like that. Channel 8 is this one here, it's another momentary switch. I think it's referred to as SD, but there's no labeling that I can see here. But in the manual, they refer to this as SD. So I suppose if you're using this right hand like this, you could lean this up against your body, and then that is going to trigger channel 8 like that. And as I showed you earlier, these other ones here are for the trims. This is T1, T2, T3, T4.
Trim center.
That's T1.
Trim center.
That's T2. I believe this is throttle trim and then steering trim for the two channels 1 and 2. And I think T3.
Trim center.
Yeah, so this is T3. That's channel 3 right there. And this is channel 4 over here.
Trim center.
And that is that one right there. Another trim here, another really hard to see. It's called T5. It's over here in this part of the handle. So they're kind of all over the place. And that is going to be for this outside trim.
Trim center.
So I'm not a surface radio expert or anything like that, but just kind of curious, what if you are thinking of getting this radio, what would you use all these extra channels for? So for me, I'm thinking like maybe lights, sound generating, like horns, that kind of stuff. Not 100% sure how these other channels are going to be useful on boats or other kinds of these sort of ground vehicles, surface vehicles. If you are one of these people that are like, oh, I need, every single channel, 8 channels, let me know what you're going to use those extra channels for. Now, apparently this radio can, well, on the Express LRS version, it is capable of supporting 16 channels, although I'm not really sure how you would trigger those additional 8 channels in the setup here in this configuration. However, this radio is, if you get the 4-in-1 version, which will have an internal 4-in-1 module, you can expand it from 16 channels to 32 channels with another external 4-in-1 module if your receiver supports 32 channels. But my God, what in the world, what kind of a surface vehicle is going to use 32 channels? If you happen to know, let me know in the comments below, because I have no clue. All right, so overall the radio weighs 480 grams with no batteries. My radio here with two 18650s weighs 591 grams. So this is by far the heaviest surface transmitter that I have. All the other ones that I use are really tiny, like this one here, more like toy grade. So obviously going for something like this is more pro grade. How do you guys feel about something that weighs this much? It's too heavy? Not heavy enough? Let me know in the comments. All right, so these two expansion modules, you have two position switches here, and then you have a 4-way joystick. These go at the bottom of the transmitter here, and supposedly you can take this little cover off here, and then there's a spot where you can plug in this extra expansion module. And again, I don't know exactly who would use these or for what purposes. If you do know, let me know in the comments below what you would use these for, but these are also included in the transmitter kit. So again, I did test it with this little micro car. I'll show you the setup on this in a separate video on my second channel. Link will be in the video description. The other test I did was I put put this receiver. This is an older receiver that was sending a PWM receiver, an ER4, also from Radiomaster. And I used this one because it had a longer antenna compared to the 5CI or the 5CV2. And I wanted to put it on an RC truck to see, how this 250 milliwatts handles my range. And I went to an office park with a lot of concrete and metal, and you'll see the results here. Basically, in a nutshell, the video range was shorter than the control range. Even though the controller was only transmitting at 250 milliwatts, I couldn't go very far because my video just couldn't handle the metal and concrete in the area. But you can go ahead and watch that at the end of the video here. But before I show you that, I do want to do a quick little sneaky giveaway here. I have this the Minmo RC Flash 2.4 gigahertz micro module. It's a transmitter. I did update this to version 3.3. It's a 1 watt capable module. I'm going to give this away in this video. The rules for the giveaway will be in the pinned comment. That's all I'm going to say. Go to the pinned comment, read about the rules, and I will pick a winner from the correct responses and entries within the first 2 hours that this video has been released. So again, I'm going to be giving away stuff to early birds. So if you happen to watch this video later, past the 2-hour deadline, just turn your notifications on and watch the videos within the deadline and respond, and you'll be entered into future giveaways. But here's the sort of range penetration test I did with this radio. That'll cover for this video. Talk to you guys in the next one. All right, so running the test at 25 megabits for the most range on the video, and I'll show the latency on the screen here. But mostly, we're here for the test of the controller. So if I see any or feel any problems with the controller, I'll let you know. And I should get a telemetry warning if I'm too far away for the controller. So obviously this is going to be a lot better than most regular 2.4 gigahertz controllers. ExpressLRS does have much better range. And already at the edge of the video signal here at 1.2 megabits. So I'm not going to keep going that way. It's definitely not penetrating through the ground, through all this concrete. But I have no loss of control, so that's the thing that's important is that it's going well beyond my video range, which is what I wanted to know. Now if I go behind this building over here, I'm at 15 megabits, 7. Yeah. So no loss of control, but video is not so great. So I'll bring it closer again. Video's fine, control's fine. Gonna go over here behind us. No problem with control. I'm not really feeling any latency on the controller at all. It's very good. So as long as there's no buildings blocking my signal, I'm getting the full 25 megabits. Well, a little further away here, I've got down to 12. Got this these stone wall here that's kind of in the way a little bit, but this building that you're looking at right here is not in the way. I'm over kind of in this direction over here as I get closer to that stone wall. The video signal does degrade a bit, but again, no issues with control, which is what I was looking for. Again, like when I did this test before the DJI FPV system, the video just did not go as far as Crosswire. It's not going as far as ExpressLRS. And I'm only on 250 milliwatts on this controller here, so as long as you have line of sight, you might be able to go much further, but I don't really have an area big enough where I can do this on the ground. So I'm pretty satisfied with the test. Obviously, you can go to a higher power, but there's no point in doing that because you can go to 1 watt with an external module. It's going to be the same because if I can go this far on 250 milliwatts, you can go much further on 1 watt. Anyway, I think that's going to cover for this video. If you got any questions, let me know. Talk to you guys in the next one.